All right. This is Intuitive Empress coming to you for the sign of Sagittarius. All right, this is a general messages. This is a general message. Sagittarius. What does that mean? It means that this message may resonate with you or it may not. Parts of it may and others may not take what resonates. And if it does not apply, let it fly, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Okay? Don't get choked up on something. Okay? If it's choking you, it's not for you. Okay? Don't forget to like, comment if this resonates with you, subscribe, and share. To my subscribers, welcome back. Old and new, you know I appreciate you. You know the love is real. Okay? For you. For new people, welcome to the intuitive community. All right, with no further ado, we're going to go in. If you would like to donate to the intuitive community, information is in the description. All right. If you would like a personal message, that information is in the description as well. All right, here we go. And we have wish fulfillment. Piscean energy, you could be dealing with a Pisces energy. So we have your wishes coming through. Work, love, art, life, realizing a dream, happiness, cheerfulness, joy, fulfillment, positivity, optimism, satisfaction overall. All right? And this is going to come after defeat. Okay? This is Aquarian energy. You can be dealing with an Aquarius. You can have it heavily in your chart. Okay. All of a sudden, I'm getting choked up. Somebody does not want this message to come out. Okay, so you're having wish fulfillment after you have either suffered a defeat or have dealt a defeat to the enemy, walking away from things. Some of you have been self-sacrificing yourself for other people, possibly in the past self-sabotaging. Okay, you can have people who were using underhanded tactics with you, deceiving you, not communicating with you, ghosting you, using aggression, bullying, and intimidation to get what they want from you. But you have been manifesting, okay? Creativity, action, power, self-employment. But it came out like this. I wanted to read it both ways because you have the wish fulfillment there. This is in the upside down thing because you had people who were manipulating, cunning, tricking, people who were wasting their talent but was upset that you were manifesting, using your talents, okay? People using deception and illusion, okay? Misdirection. You know, magicians. I used to love magic shows and magicians and stuff. And they would use the art of misdirection. And so these people suffered a defeat because they were trying to mislead you, misdirect you, distract you so you don't see the smoke and mirrors. Okay? They knew that, okay, this came out first, that you were making investments into yourself, Sagittarius. That you were waiting for certain things to come to fruition in your life. That your hard work was going to pay off and you were going to harvest rewards, okay? That things were going to be growing things you were nurturing. This is Taurus energy, okay? And you went from waiting for your investments to mature to the season of harvest and cultivation. Okay, so you could get an unexpected financial windfall, a lump sum of money, okay? An inheritance, possibly. But I'm not saying that it's inheritance, because you don't earn an inheritance. Is somebody in your family leaves you something or whatever, this is something that you worked for, okay? And you have people who are going to feel left out in the cold, Taurian energy, okay? You may have experienced a temporary financial hardship. You had people judging you, or again, they were waiting around for your blessings to come, because you can feel it in the air when someone is about to come into something. It's just all over you. It radiates off of you. And that is the truth. Okay. Here we have vibrancy, Leo energy. You're energetic and vivacious. Okay. You're strong. You're passionate. You're funny. You're independent. You're confident. You're looking good, smelling good. And that tends to attract vultures. Okay, so we have the intuition card, Piscean energy, with the small love offer. Okay, you had somebody who gave you a small love offer, was breadcrumbing you, but this card is also a card of spirituality, listening to your inner voice. You're a dreamer. You could be sensitive, meaning sensitive to other people's emotions. You could be intuitive, prophetic. You could receive messages from the Most High, okay? And that is the truth, because on this card, this is the truth card, okay? And it is Libra energy. You're someone who could possibly has structure and routine. You're very intelligent, okay? You use logic, okay? You have strength. You're very discerning, okay? You possibly could come off as cool and detached, okay? But you're very honest. You have strong ethics and morals, and you stick to them. You have great integrity. And with that comes the Nine of Pentacles, okay? That is Virgo energy, and it stands for independent wealth. You're independent. You're successful. You're going to be financially stable and secure. Okay, wealth and abundance is coming out. This is all in your energy, Sagittarius. And so if this is all in your energy, what do you think you give off when you walk into the room, you walking down the street, when people come across you? This is the energy that you're giving off. Oof. And so you have people who will take advantage of it. People who don't want to work hard. People who were not crying at night while they were trying to get it. And that's why this tower moment has come. Okay? That sudden defeat. You could have had somebody who was abusive, mentally, verbally, physically. You're stepping out on faith based on this tower moment. Okay? This sudden revelation. You're moving on. Okay? From those people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Yeah. You're moving on, or someone moved on from you. Because we have heartbreak here. You could have broke somebody's heart when you walked away, or you got your heart broken. Take it as it resonates. But I'm really feeling like, I feel like you got your heart broke. I feel like you got your heart broken. But I feel like you took that pain and turned it into something creative, something spiritual, going into God. And when this person came back, or you moved away from this person and moved on, it broke their heart because they thought that they had you in a certain place. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And judgment is coming. Judgment is coming. And you're going to rise from the ashes, and this other person who did you wrong is going to reap the benefits of what they did. Whatever it is they planted. See, you planted good things. They planted certain things too. And now it's reaping season. It's reaping season. That's been coming up. People are reaping what they sowed. The problem is when it comes to reaping, when it comes to harvest, on the grand scheme of things in the secular area, in religious places, you know, people get excited. Oh, it's harvest time. It's harvest time. It's harvest time. And everybody go shouting. Everybody go screaming and hollering and saying, yeah, I'm going to get what I'm going to get my blessings. It's my time and everything like that. Everybody's doing it, but they never speak on the fact that everybody is not going to get a blessing. You can only harvest what you've planted. So if you planted good things, you're going to get good things. I find myself saying this a lot because judgment is coming, harvest is coming, karma versus justice is coming out. And it's a balance of justice and karma. On a balanced scale of karma is good karma and bad karma. On a balance of scales is a judgment where you're either acquitted or you're found guilty, or if it's a civil case, you either win the money or you don't win the money. And it's based on the universal spiritual laws. You cannot plant an olive seed and get grapes. And so this is what this is. You're going to have people try to come back once you get where you need to be. Scorpio energy. This came up in Scorpio. This came up in Scorpio. In a Scorpio read. This came up in a Scorpio read. So if you have Scorpio in your chart, you're dealing with a Scorpio, you might want to check out their reading. I also say, if you're a Scorpio and you were the one doing this, then you might want to seek the Most High to get yourself together. But you're definitely going to still reap what you sow in this season. You might have to wait until the next season for the proper thing. Because I like to give both sides, because not every Sagittarius is getting this. Again, it's a general read. But you know what you've been doing. You know what you've been investing. And it's time to be honest with yourself. A lot of you have given to those that were in need, very generous. Maybe opened your home. Taurus energy. Again, you could be dealing with a Taurus. The Taurus read did come out. And if you are dealing with a Taurus, you might want to read that. You might want to search for the Taurus read. It was it was last month. So the Taurus read for it was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So you might want to check that out, or wait for the next Taurus read, which will be coming up shortly. You have the Hangman energy in reverse. So some of you could have felt been in a relationship where somebody was discontented, disinterested, was stuck in a state of stagnation, which made you become detached, or they could have become detached and had negative patterns, negative speech. And then here we have the Justice card. I was just speaking about justice. Didn't even know they had come out in the shuffle. So again, you have justice, you have And that's why this is different. Justice and then karmic justice. Consequences. Good and bad. Legal disputes. Some of you may have court dates and things that may or may not go in your favor depending on what the situation is. Truth, honesty, integrity, cause and effect. Cause, whatever you did, and the effect of what you did. And life lessons. We have Leo energy, which I just do Leo. So if you're dealing with a Leo, you can check that out because some of these cards did come out in Leo's reading. The person that you were dealing with was feeling like a failure, like they were at a disadvantage. They might even talked about their disadvantages in life, how they were disgraced, how they were humiliated, how they have so many ops. That this person has ill will and ill intent. For some of you, because again, I'm reading this both ways and I'm getting it both ways. For some of you, it could have been the actions that you were taking. Because out of your discontentment and everything, you did certain things. Justice is coming, and this is your lie. For others of you, you got the victory. This is a time to review your actions. See, because I'm not simply, I'm not a reader at all, actually. I get messages, I get what I get from the cards, but I have a prophetic gift. I have the spirit of intuition really strong that comes with the prophetic gift, and empathetic gift, of empathic gift. And the truth of the matter is, judgment is coming for some people. For some of you, judgment is here. And if you're not evaluating yourself properly, Sagittarius, then you're going to continue the same patterns. You're going to continue the same cycles. Or you can choose to learn from things that happen to you and or things that you've done in this life and make some changes. For some of you, Leo energy, you have had conflicts, fighting, arguments, disagreements, struggle, opposition, battles. You could have been moving in aggression and temper, clashing with people, in ego and pride, being defensive or territorial. Or this could have been somebody that you were dealing with, and it led to the loss of a relationship, a friendship. Scorpio energy. If you're dealing with someone who is a Scorpio, have Scorpio in their chart, this might be for you, okay? They don't have to have this in their chart, but specifically, and I actually just did Scorpio's reading, so you might want to check that out. Okay? And here we have clarity. This is the truth card again. Libra. But for balance and judgment, we have the Aquarius energy, the water bearer, and we have the Gemini energy, the twins. If you're dealing with any of these signs, you can check out the readings for that. But this is a gift from heaven, clarity, new ideas, new plans, intellectual ability. So what Spirit is telling me here is that if you were the one in this energy, once you get clarity, you have the opportunity to turn your situation around. getting breakthroughs. And once you do, guess what? It's going to be a quick turnaround for you. Victory on top of victory, overcoming obstacles, being determined, willpower, self-control, hard work. But be careful of that devil energy, the addiction, depression, mental health issues, obsession, cheating, codependency, letting people put you in bondage, materialism, because materialism is a sin. It's not a sin to have material things or to even desire them, but it's what you do to get those material things. Sexually immoral, feeling powerless and hopeless, being abusive or being abused, violence, assault. All of that comes under the devil card. And Spirit is saying, avoid this, because you got blessings coming and you'll hinder your blessings, delay your blessings if you stay in that energy. Yeah, for some of you, you're going to have the Knight of Cups, a romantic proposal, Scorpio energy. Be discerning of who you take that offer from, though, because the person coming with this cup could be in this devil energy. Some of you may have to act in the Queen of Swords, being astute, honest, truthful, candid, protective of your heart and your spirit and your mind. Being discerning. Got cards flying out of the deck. Yeah. You have somebody who's very selfish, holding on to people, possessions, and issues that they had deep-seated past issues. Hoarding, someone who's stingy, someone who's a control freak, possessive. Capricorn energy. Sagittarius energy, which is your energy. This could have been an ongoing battle with this person and it wore you out, drained you of your energy. This person could come and drain your energy and walk off, steal your energy from you, right when you're close to success. And then you wonder why the blessings that you were supposed to get didn't show up. They were right there in front of your face because this person was sapping the life out of you. And Spirit is saying, put an end to that. Take that spiritual transformation. Get your new beginning. Let go. So you can go into your higher calling. Tapping into your intuition. Knowing yourself. Trusting yourself. Getting that spiritual insight and emotional stability. Getting that wisdom of things yet to be revealed from your angels and the Holy Spirit. And you can stop feeling stabbed in the back by people. Or this person who was bad, who was treating you like a doormat. Causing your blessings to collapse. Causing you to hit rock bottom. And you can get your enthusiasm back and get that good news. That swift, again, we have swift news. Swift things will happen with the swiftness. Use your vision. Aries energy, Sagittarius energy. Aries energy. But some of you, you have a decision between two paths, two people. You're trying to decide whether to stay or whether to go. Well, the card said, let go. Yeah. This one is yes or no, because guess what? There's a decision here. Major choices with the Lover's card. Gemini energy. In order to find out which way to go and who to choose, you want to get with yourself. Okay, get by yourself, soul search, get that spiritual enlightenment, because news is going to come in. Things are going to happen. This is more Sagittarius energy. It says speed, progress, movement, action, rushing, exciting times. Things are going to move swiftly, either in the direction of your blessings or in the other direction where you're going to feel lost and hopeless again. All right. Wow, Sagittarius, your reading was a little bit longer than the other readings that I did today. As we haven't even gone into the clarifications yet. Actually, we're just going to do advice and wrap this up. So I don't think we have to clarify. We know that there was somebody or somebodies in your life that were toxic. We know you have the possibility of victory or defeat in your life. That it kept coming up, victory. Then after the victory, the defeat. And that could have been some of your thing. As soon as you got a blessing, you started getting your blessing. Here came something to knock you off your block. And it could have been a person. It could have been you. It could have been you getting stuck in ego and pride. Or it could have just been somebody who was coming to suck your blessings up before you even got the full harvest. You just started having things start to sprout in your life. And here they come digging it up. Or here they come chewing it up like locusts. Some of you will really need to pray. Pray that God will heal your land. That He will restore the years that the locusts and the cankerworm have eaten. You've had locusts and cankerworms chewing on what you've planted. As soon as it started to sprout up, you didn't even get to the place of having a harvest. Pests and pestilence chewing on your plants. I remember a few years ago, I had gotten in my head because I had a green thumb when I was younger. Helped my grandmother plant some stuff and everything. And I even planted some things on my own when I was younger. And I was like, well, I like fruits and vegetables and stuff. I could save some money by planting certain vegetables, some of the expensive vegetables. Because when you get the seeds, it's not as expensive. You just have to put the time and effort in. Well, I planted tomatoes. They had just started to bud. You could see the little green little bulbs come up. I'm like, yes, I got tomatoes. And I go outside one day and I'm like, the stem look thicker than it normally do. And I get close. I'm like, it looked like that stem got an eye on it. I get close. It's a green caterpillar, the same green as the stem. Chewing on the vine, tearing up the plant. I had to cut the caterpillar off. And I was like, I don't even know where. And when I looked it up, it was a tomato caterpillar. I'm like, okay, I live in a city. Where the heck? How did the tomato caterpillar even know this was there? But here it came. Cut that one off. Next day I go out, it's another one. On the other, and I had to cut the vine that it was on, the stem that it was on, So that one was on a give. Came back out, and it was another one on the next branch. I lost my harvest because it had killed the plant. I had to cut the plant and start all over next year with the same plant, but I couldn't harvest that year. So I had to wait until the next season. And that's what's happening to a lot of you, Sagittarius, or one of you, or whomever. You plant, you start to see something. I could kind of see that block coming up through the ground. Soon as it gets to the point where it is growing fruit, you had somebody come in and start chewing on the branch. I had planted the same year. I had planted squash. Started coming up all these little buds, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a lot of squash. Even my neighbor's like, you gonna have a lot of squash. All of a sudden, it starts bending down. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? All of the flowers that flowered on it was gone. The plant had gotten an infection. The whole plant was lost. Some of you people might be doing spell work to infect and infest your blessing. And so that blessing, you don't even see any buds. At least on the tomato plant, I saw fruit starting to develop. It didn't even get to that point. That same year, I planted cucumber, little baby cucumbers. It was coming up. It was almost ripe. Well, as soon as those cucumbers out, because I knew, I was like, okay, if I come out here the next day, it's probably ripe. I was watching it every day. I came out, and the cucumbers had been chewed off the thing. I could even see like the seeds and things like that. It's told groundhogs came. I didn't even think we had groundhogs. Again, we're in the city. Where the heck groundhogs come from? I thought it was the squirrels. My neighbor was like, no, the squirrels don't. They won't mess with that. Is the groundhogs. I was driving down my driveway one day, and lo and behold, I saw a groundhog running across the road. And I was like, he probably was coming from my house. Like, oh, what's she planting now? I'm hungry. Let me go for my buffet. And that's how you have people who come for your buffet that will reap the benefits of your hard work. Because it was hard work. This was hard won, Sagittarius. This was blood, sweat, tears, crying at night, heartbreak. Only for somebody to swoop in who didn't do none of the work and snatch your stuff. And now they eating what you worked and toiled over. We have twin flame, a spiritual connection. For some of you, this could, what people chewed up on, could have been your twin flame. You'd be surprised how many people, even if they're in relationships and married, when you have something that is special and something that's of God, how many people will hate on it in your family, your friends, everything? Abundance is also coming your way. Flowing. Abundance, it says an inflow of money, love, and or rewards. Sometimes this could be an ex that's not happy because they weren't who they were supposed to be in your life. They were not the one. And so Spirit is saying release it. Release the grudges. Release the wounds. Release the pent-up feelings and the unhealthy activities and attachments. All right, that's the message right there. You have everything that God is trying to provide for you that you've waited a long time for. It's up to you, Sagittarius, whether you want to keep it or not. And sometimes you're going to have to set firm boundaries. Know when to put up and let down your guard, okay? And your walls to protect yourself. That is the message that I have for you, Sagittarius. And I'll see you next read. Bye-bye.